This month on Screen Riot, we selected movies where the main character is a lawyer. Our first movie is 2003's Daredevil, where blind lawyer Matt Murdock fights crime as a vigilante at night. He falls in love with Elektra Natchios while trying to take down the powerful businessman Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. The movie explores the morality of vigilantism with thrilling fight scenes and a dark tone.
Well, I wonder, so if we talk about the start of this movie, it's got kind of the classic superhero backstory start where it cuts in immediately towards the end of the movie for a couple minutes, and then you get the full Matt Murdock backstory from when he's a kid. So this whole backstory part to me looked like an early 2000s Disney movie. I really did not enjoy the backstory, but it's just a freak accident, and he gets this toxic stuff all over him, and then he wakes up in the hospital and he's like, hey, I can like see sonar now, and I have the traditional Daredevil powers, and he like does some soap shoes on some construction material. Very, very Disney-esque movie.
I will say one thing that was interesting was how they did the echolocation sonar CGI stuff, because leading up to this, I know very little about Daredevil, but I knew that he was blind, so he used like sound to do everything. So I was like, how are they going to do that visually on film? And I like the way they did it. I thought it was pretty intuitive. Like once you saw it, I wasn't like, "Whoa, what's going on?" It was like, "Oh, perfect. Okay, now I understand what's going on here." So, I thought they creatively they did that really well.
They're very upfront. They're like all his other senses are enhanced, but they rarely showed his other senses, like his touch and taste and all that stuff. It was mostly the echolocation stuff
and the smell.
Yeah,
he could track down Jennifer Garner's character like a damn bloodhound.
Yeah, we're
creepy.
We were quickly introduced to the love interest. What's her name? Electric Burrito
Elektra.
Or something?
Elektra Natchios.
Yeah.
Nachos.
Her name's Elektra Natchios. She sounds like a Mexican appetizer.
Well, I thought the same thing. Right when she said her name, I was like, nachos? Like,
that's exactly what I thought. So I just started calling her Electric Burrito for the whole movie.
What about Bullseye?
So good. He needs to be in every movie.
Jesus.
Please no.
This is they need, so when aliens come down in like 10,000 years and they want to study history, they'll find the hieroglyphics. They'll find like the hieroglyphics to figure out like super old times. To figure out the year 2003, they just need this performance. That's got every
find a
2000.
DVD,
yeah,
Daredevil next to it.
Daredevil. That's
Wow.
it. It's all they need is this performance in this movie, because it is the most hot topic, over the top, ridiculous. His coat, every time they have like 4 microphones just on his coat because he's moving it around all the time. You want to be like, it's really cringy, but it's so over the top, and he seems kind of into it, kind of winking with one eye in the performance, kind of not winking with one eye in the performance. I loved it. I thought it was great. I think it's a ridiculous character, but I thought Colin Farrell did so good. It made me laugh out loud every scene. This soundtrack on this movie is so ridiculous that it kind of like Colin Farrell's character. I hated it, and then I hated it so much I went to like negative numbers that I started to like it. So after Bullseye shows up and they think that Daredevil does the assassination, Electric Burrito is trying to actually kill Daredevil now, and it shows her doing a little training montage, and she's cutting down like bags of sand or something, and it's playing this Evanescence song. It feels like a parody. It doesn't even feel real. It feels like a Mad TV skit or something.
Yeah, you know what I was thinking about during that scene?
There are 20 songs, by the way. 20 songs in this
movie. Two or three of them are Evanescence, I think.
Yeah,
I want to know what Justin was thinking about, and then I'll tell you what I was thinking about during that scene.
Okay, so I was thinking about like just the logistics of her world here. So like she has all these sandbags rigged in this bedroom. Like what if she had to like get up to pee in the middle of the night, and she was just walking in, all of a sudden these sandbags just start dropping and like slamming her in the face and all this stuff. That was what was going through my head. It was like, this is ridiculous.
My first reaction was, who is going to clean this up? I mean, all this sand all over this room. First of all, this room has no furniture, so it's like, okay, who's going to clean up all this sand? And then I'm like, did she rig all this up, or did she have somebody do it? And then I'm like, this is an obstacle course she's obviously done before. This is in no way any type of training that you could possibly get any benefit from. What are you doing? So I had a gamut of things I was thinking about.
So kind of immediately after that fighting scene, or after the training scene with the sand, who they don't show the logistics of how they clean it up, she basically goes to confront Daredevil and try to fight him, right? And
Mhm.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. It's like I
and
worked
she,
out and I'm ready to go. I'm
and she
ready to
damn
fight
near
now.
kills him. She like damn
Well,
near
yeah,
Yeah.
kills him.
because he let up. He's
And
like,
I had
I'm not
to-
gonna fight you.
Yeah, and she goes, I gotta look. So he's dying, and she goes, well, I gotta look at your eyes before I kill you or something. I don't know. And he picks up the mask, and he has like blind people eyes. I don't know what she was expecting. And she goes, oh, never mind, I'll kill the other guy. And then Colin Farrell shows up with his stupid head, and he's like, he's doing like the yeah. And dude, Colin Farrell throws one of those sighs at Jennifer Garner, and she tries to catch it, and it just goes straight through her hand. I thought that was kind of cool, actually.
I was not expecting that actually.
I was not expecting her to die up there. She dies like pretty brutally too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing that we kind of glossed over was the initial meeting between Daredevil, Matt Murdock, and Jennifer Garner's character Elektra.
So weird.
You mean the 30-minute playground fight?
Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about real quick. Not really much to say about it, except I thought it was asinine.
Yeah, it reminded me of like Kung Fury or something almost. Like it was,
Yeah,
but they're kind
'cause
of
they were-
doing it.
It was a Kung Fury meets Matrix. Because they're in the playground, they're in the inner city playground.
And
right?
why is she just fighting a blind person? She doesn't know he's a superhero. You know, like that's.
Yeah, it's very odd.
I don't get that scene at all. Yeah.
And apparently, John, in the director's cut, that scene is even longer than the scene that
It's forever. So Daredevil and Bullseye fight, right? And he eliminates. They fight in a church, and there's another asinine scene where Bullseye is just picking up falling pieces of glass.
Oh my
was
god!
terrible.
Oh yeah.
He's like stacking them like
He's-
plates in a
he's
restaurant,
falling-
and then he throws
He's
them
falling
all.
backwards, and
Yeah.
yeah.
How does he
throws them
die?
all.
How does
He
how does Daredevil kill him?
The sharpshooter's about to kill Daredevil,
yeah.
but
They shoot
Daredevil
two holes.
He
hears
hears-
the bullet. So as he's getting shot, he moves back, and the bullet goes through both of Bullseye's hands.
Which is
very
very fitting.
stigmata like crucifix.
Yeah,
action.
he goes-
Have mercy! You took away my hand.
You took away my hands.
And then he goes, "I don't care," and throws him out the window. He lands on the writer guy,
Joe Pantoliano.
Yep. that's him.
Pantoliano. Yeah. So he lands on his car. Daredevil, after that instance, he goes, "Well, I'm not done yet. I got to go and kill the Kingpin," and then he fights Fisk, to the
Mhm.
death. And well, not really to the death, because he finally gives mercy to Fisk, and he's like, "A justice."
Well, he goes, "You've killed the only two people I've ever loved," and I was like, "Wait, who? What, two, like your dad and Jennifer Garner? You just met her."
Yeah, like 2 days.
It's like a
You
2-week
just met her.
relationship.
It's like a day and a half.
She smells good.
Yeah, he's a bit creepy doing that, like
I know.
smelling stuff's a little creepy.
Yeah.
Talking about the Kingpin fight, so obviously this is the big fight everything's been leading up to, right? I thought it was done pretty well. In the theatrical version, it's only like 30 seconds long though. Like you think that the big boss fight at the end is going to be, like the drag out 3 to 5 minute long thing, which you guys said in I think Kyle, you said in the director's version that it is longer, but in the theatrical
pretty
version,
long,
it's
yeah.
only like 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds at the most.
Yeah.
But it was really brutal, I thought. Like when he
Oh yeah.
hit his knees backwards and then
Mhm.
Duncan falls on them again. Like my initial instinct was like, holy crap, that would hurt. That would apparently it did, because it put him out of commission.
Yep. And threw him in prison.
Is there a scene where you see him go to prison in the director's cut or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
No,
They
it
wrap
was
up
not on ours.
Every single plot line in the director's cut,
Interesting.
whether you like it or not. It's like, where are they now? Prison, hospital bed, dead, out of a job, because they show Ben, the writer, basically writing up the whole story of Daredevil, because he figures out that Matt
Yeah,
is the
We saw
Daredevil,
that.
and he's like, I'm gonna spread the truth. And then he goes, never mind. And then he walks out and he's like, hi, Daredevil. And Daredevil's like, hi. And scene.
Yeah,
There's,
and
that's perfectly.
I mean,
Oh,
that's
it's
pretty much
good.
what it is.
Yeah, that's how it wrapped up at the end.
So we need to figure out if we are going to stream it or skip it.
Skip it.
Skip it.
I'm gonna say skip it as well. Rowan.
I'm gonna say get your early 2000s nostalgia fest on. Stream this thing. It's great.
So
All right.
we're basically saying it's 3-1. So you should skip this movie. So that means we are 3-1. We are saying skip it. So we are going to be back next Saturday we're going to continue our Lawyer Fest April. That's the theme for April, and is going to be looking at a movie from 2011 called Puncture. And looking at this movie, there's a version in 2022, I think, called Puncture. That's not that one. It's the 2011 version. So we're going to take a look at that movie, and we'll see you back next week. So,
Cool.
bye.
See ya.
See ya.
So we're 3-1. We're basically saying you need to skip this movie. Ooh.
There goes John.
Oh.
We skipped the hell out of it.